Welcome to Lento English. Ready to level up your English? Here we learn through stories, slow, clear, and fun. Listen, relax, and enjoy the journey.
1. Introduction. Many jobs around the world have serious risks. Some jobs are dangerous because people work high above the ground. Other jobs are risky because workers face strong weather or powerful natural forces. Using big, heavy machines can also make a job dangerous. A job is dangerous when it can cause serious injury or even death. This book will look at some of these jobs and the brave people who do them. Working in a dangerous job needs special qualities. People who do these jobs must be very brave. They also need very good training. They learn how to use tools safely and how to follow rules. This helps them to do their work as safely as possible. But even with good training, some risks always stay. These workers show great skill and focus every day. This lesson will explore different kinds of dangerous jobs. First, we will look at jobs connected to nature. These include people who work with big trees in forests, like logging workers. We will also learn about fishers who work on the big, open sea. These jobs often mean facing wild weather and difficult places. Next, we will talk about jobs in construction. This means building things. We will learn about roofers who work high on buildings. We will also discuss structural iron and steel workers. They build the strong frames of new buildings. These jobs often involve working at great heights and moving very heavy materials. Finally, we will explore jobs in transportation. This includes people who fly big planes like pilots and flight engineers. We will also learn about long-haul truck drivers. They drive big trucks for many hours and long distances. These jobs can involve long working hours, tiredness, and dealing with bad weather on the road or in the sky. In the following chapters, we will learn more about each of these jobs. We will understand the specific dangers they face. We will also see how important safety is in these difficult jobs. This book will help us understand the hard work and courage of people in dangerous professions. 2. Working with big trees. Logging workers cut down trees in forests. They prepare wood for many uses. This job is known to be very dangerous. It asks for strong people who can work carefully every day. One big danger comes from the trees themselves. Trees are very tall and heavy. When a tree falls, it can fall in unexpected ways. Workers must watch out for falling branches and the main trunk. A falling tree can cause serious harm or even death. The ground can also be uneven, making it harder for workers to move away quickly. Logging workers use big machines. These machines cut trees, move them, and load them onto trucks. Examples include chainsaws, feller bunchers, and skidders. Chainsaws are sharp and powerful tools used by hand. Feller bunchers are large vehicles that cut and gather many trees at once. Skidders drag cut trees through the forest. All this heavy equipment is strong and fast. If a worker is not careful, they can get hurt by these machines. Machine parts can break or a machine can tip over, creating more risks. Logging often happens far away from towns and cities. Workers are deep in the forest. The land can be rough with hills, rocks, and thick plants. The weather can also make things harder. Rain can make the ground muddy and slippery. Snow and ice can hide dangers and make machines harder to control. If someone gets hurt, it can take a long time for help to arrive. This makes quick thinking and being prepared very important. Because of these many dangers, working together is very important. Logging teams must talk to each other all the time. They need to tell others when a tree is falling. They must warn about moving machines. Good communication helps everyone stay safe. Each worker depends on the others to watch out for them. Training helps workers learn how to use equipment safely and how to work well as a team. Working with big trees is a hard job. It involves many risks from nature and machines. But with careful training, clear communication, and strong teamwork, workers try to make this dangerous job as safe as possible. 3. Fishing in the big sea. Deep-sea fishing is a very hard and dangerous job. Fishers go far out into the ocean to catch fish. Their work often takes them many days away from land. Life on a fishing boat is not easy. These workers face many challenges every day they are at sea. One of the biggest dangers for deep-sea fishers is the weather. The ocean can change very quickly. A sunny morning can become a dangerous storm in just a few hours. Big waves can hit the boat, making it difficult to stand and work. Strong winds can push the boat around. Cold temperatures and heavy rain or snow also make the job harder and more risky. When a boat is far from shore, help can be a long time coming if something bad happens. Falling into the cold, rough sea is a serious risk, and it is hard to get back on board. Fishers also work with heavy and powerful equipment. They use large nets, long lines, and big hooks to catch fish. These tools are very heavy and can be dangerous. Machines on the boat, like winches that pull in the nets, are strong and can cause serious injuries if not handled carefully. Fingers or hands can get caught in ropes or machinery. Heavy fishing gear can swing around or fall, hitting workers. The deck of the boat can also be wet and slippery, making falls more likely. Another big problem for deep-sea fishers is working for many hours. They often work long shifts, sometimes for a full day or even longer without much rest. This means they get very tired. When people are tired, they can make mistakes. These mistakes can lead to serious accidents. Tiredness makes it harder to focus and react quickly to dangers around them. It can also make it harder to think clearly. The combination of bad weather, heavy equipment, and long, tiring hours makes deep-sea fishing one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. Fishers must be very strong, skilled, and careful. They need to know how to use their equipment safely and how to react quickly to changing conditions. Despite the dangers, these brave people continue their work to bring food to our tables. They show great courage every time they go out into the big sea. 4. Working high on roofs. Roofers have a job that takes them high above the ground. They work on the tops of buildings, fixing old roofs or putting on new ones. This job is important, but it is also very dangerous. The biggest danger for roofers is falling. They often work on tall houses or big buildings. A fall from even a small roof can cause serious injury. A fall from a high roof can be deadly. Workers must always be careful and use safety equipment. They wear special harnesses that can stop them from falling to the ground. They also use safety ropes and nets, but even with these tools, the risk is always there. Sometimes a roof can be very steep, which makes it harder to walk on. This adds to the danger of falling. Roofers also face bad weather. They work outside in the sun, rain, and wind. In summer, the sun can be very hot on a roof. This can make workers tired and sick. In winter, roofs can be cold and slippery with ice or snow. Strong winds can also make working on a roof very hard and dangerous. Wind can blow workers off balance. It can also blow tools or materials off the roof, which can hurt people below. Rain makes roofs very slippery and unsafe. Besides falling and weather, roofers deal with other dangers. They use many tools like hammers, saws, and nail guns. These tools can cause cuts or other injuries if workers are not careful. They also lift and move heavy materials like roof tiles, shingles, and rolls of felt. Lifting heavy things can hurt their backs. Walking on a roof can be tricky too. Sometimes, parts of an old roof can be weak and break under their feet. This can cause a sudden fall through the roof. To stay safe, roofers need good training. They learn how to use their tools safely. They also learn how to work with heavy materials and how to move carefully on a roof. Safety equipment is very important. Helmets protect their heads. Special shoes help them grip the roof better. Regular breaks are also needed to avoid getting too tired, especially in hot weather. Teamwork is also key, as workers often help each other with heavy lifting and watching out for dangers. Working high up on roofs takes courage and skill. These workers help keep our homes and buildings safe from the weather, but they do their job in a very risky place. Their safety is always the most important thing. 5. Making strong buildings. Structural iron and steel workers have a very important job in building our cities. They put together the strong metal parts that make the skeleton of a building or a bridge. Without their work, tall skyscrapers and long bridges would not exist. This job needs a lot of skill, strength, and careful attention. They build the frame that holds everything up, from the ground to the highest point. One of the biggest challenges for these workers is working at very great heights. They often stand on narrow steel beams, sometimes hundreds of feet above the ground. Imagine being 50 or even 100 floors high, with nothing but open air below. A small mistake or a loss of balance can be extremely dangerous. The wind can blow strongly, making it harder to stay steady. Workers must not be afraid of heights and need to move with great precision. These workers handle very heavy steel beams and other large materials. These beams can weigh many tons, and powerful cranes lift them into place. Workers on the structure must guide these massive pieces and connect them. If a beam swings unexpectedly, it can hit a worker or cause a fall, leading to serious injury. Workers always wear special safety equipment, like hard hats, harnesses, and strong gloves. They use special tools to bolt and weld the steel pieces together, making sure they are perfectly aligned. To do this job well, structural iron and steel workers need excellent balance. They walk on narrow steel frames, sometimes in rain, snow, or strong winds. Every step must be sure and steady. They also need great focus and concentration. They must pay close attention to their task, even with loud noises from machinery and strong gusts of wind. Looking away for even a second can be very risky. They always work as a team, and clear communication is vital to keep everyone safe and build the structure correctly. Building strong structures is a very challenging job. Structural iron and steel workers face many dangers every single day, but their hard work, bravery, and specialized skills are essential for modern cities. They build the strong frames that hold up our homes, offices, and bridges. Their careful and precise work makes it possible for us to have safe, tall buildings and important connections. 6. Flying big planes. Aircraft pilots and flight engineers have a very important job. They fly large planes that carry many people and a lot of cargo across long distances. These professionals spend their working hours high above the ground, making sure every journey is safe. Their workplace is the cockpit, a small space with many controls and screens. Flight engineers often assist pilots by monitoring the aircraft's complex systems. One of the main dangers for pilots and flight engineers comes from the weather. The sky can change very quickly. Strong winds, heavy rain, thick fog, or snow can make flying challenging. Pilots must be ready to navigate through these difficult conditions. They use advanced radar and weather reports to avoid the worst storms. But nature's power can be unpredictable, and pilots need great skill to handle it. Another serious risk involves the plane itself. Aircraft are very complex machines with thousands of parts. Sometimes an equipment problem can happen. An engine might have a fault or a system might stop working. Pilots and flight engineers receive extensive training to understand these problems. They learn how to react quickly and correctly to fix issues or manage the situation safely until the plane can land. This knowledge is vital for everyone on board. The job also brings a lot of stress and tiredness. Pilots often work for many hours, especially on long international flights. They might cross several time zones, which can confuse the body. This can lead to fatigue or extreme tiredness. Staying alert and focused for a whole flight, sometimes for 10 or 12 hours, is hard work. Stress from making important decisions and being responsible for many lives can be heavy. This tiredness and stress can affect a pilot's ability to think clearly and react fast. To keep flying safe, pilots and flight engineers undergo rigorous training. They spend many hours in flight simulators. These are like real cockpits that do not leave the ground. In simulators, they practice flying in all kinds of weather and dealing with equipment failures. They learn about every part of the plane and how to manage emergencies. There are strict rules about how many hours pilots can fly to prevent tiredness. This continuous training and strict safety rules are crucial. They help pilots prepare for anything. They also ensure that flying remains one of the safest ways to travel, even with the risks. 7. Driving big trucks. Long-haul truck drivers have a very important job. They drive big trucks carrying goods across long distances. They might drive from one state to another or even across the country. This job helps move food, clothes, and many other things we use every day. Without them, stores would be empty. Driving big trucks for so long is not easy, and it can be dangerous. One big challenge for these drivers is spending many hours behind the wheel. Drivers often work 8, 10, or even more hours each day. Sometimes they drive through the night. This can make them very tired. When a driver is tired, it is harder to focus on the road. Reaction time can slow down. They might even fall asleep for a moment, which is extremely dangerous. Being tired greatly increases the risk of serious accidents. Rules limit driving hours, but drivers often push themselves due to delivery pressure. Truck drivers must also deal with different kinds of weather. Rain makes roads very slippery, making it hard to stop a heavy truck. Snow and ice make driving even more difficult and dangerous. A big truck can easily slide or lose control in icy conditions. Strong winds can push a large truck, making it hard to keep straight. Sometimes drivers drive through thick fog where they cannot see well. They also drive on many different types of roads. Some are busy highways, while others are narrow mountain roads with sharp turns. Controlling a big truck in these conditions needs great skill and attention. Another challenge for truck drivers is their health. They sit for most of their workday, sometimes for days without much movement. Sitting for long periods can cause many health problems over time. For example, it can affect their back, legs, or heart. It can also be hard to eat healthy food on the road, often stopping at fast food places. Irregular sleep schedules, especially when driving at night, also affect their well-being. Finding time to rest and exercise is important but difficult with tight schedules. So, driving big trucks is a job that needs a lot of focus, skill, and physical strength. Drivers face long hours leading to tiredness, bad weather, difficult road conditions, and various health risks. They work hard to bring us the things we need, often facing these dangers alone on the open road. Their dedication helps keep our world moving. 8. A lesson on safety. We have learned about many jobs where people face big dangers every day. From the tall trees where loggers work to the deep, cold sea where fishers sail, and from the high roofs of buildings to the long roads driven by truck drivers, risks are always present. Workers can fall from high places, which is a major concern. They often use very large and heavy machines that can be dangerous if not handled with great care. Nature itself, with its bad weather and rough conditions, adds to the risks in many outdoor professions. Also, working for many hours can make people very tired, which can lead to mistakes and accidents. These jobs, like those of structural iron workers, pilots, and many others, all require great attention and care. They are challenging and demand constant awareness from those who perform them. Because of these many dangers, safety rules are extremely important in every workplace. Every company that has dangerous jobs creates special rules and plans. These rules are made to keep workers safe and prevent accidents from happening. It is very important that every worker knows these rules very well and follows them strictly every single day. Along with rules, proper training is also a critical part of safety. Training teaches workers the best and safest ways to do their jobs. It shows them how to use their tools and machines correctly and without harm. It also helps them understand the risks they might face and how to avoid getting hurt. Good training gives workers the knowledge and skills to stay safe and react well if something unexpected happens, helping them to protect themselves and their colleagues. New technology plays a very important role in making dangerous jobs safer today. For example, better safety helmets, strong gloves, and special suits protect workers from injuries in many environments. Smart sensors can now be used to warn workers about dangers they cannot see, like unstable ground or bad air quality in enclosed spaces. Drones can fly into dangerous areas to check conditions before any person has to go there, reducing direct human exposure to risk. Also, improved communication systems mean that workers can call for help faster if there is an emergency, which can save lives. Some very risky tasks can now be done by robots or special machines instead of people, taking humans out of harm's way. This new technology helps to reduce the number of accidents and makes the workplace a much safer place for everyone. All the people who do these dangerous jobs show amazing bravery and skill. They are not afraid to work in hard and risky places, facing challenges that most people would avoid. They have learned special skills and have a lot of knowledge about their work, which takes years of practice and dedication. They help to build our towns and cities, bring us food from far away, and move goods around the world. Their hard work is very important for our daily lives and for the economy. Recognizing their courage and skill is important, as their contributions are vital. By always focusing on safety, using good training, and embracing new technology, we can help protect these brave individuals. This way, they can continue their vital work and return home safely to their families every day, knowing their safety is a top priority.